sunk an enemy destroyer.
Hey team, this is Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Got a fun video with the Ragnar, and this is actually another spotting of the USS Hull. If you guys don't know what the USS Hull is, we'll talk about it in a minute. But man, it is something we've been looking forward to. I'll pause the video in a minute to go over some of the stats. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, bell button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. And at 4,000 subs, we're going to do another premium giveaway. And we can't thank you guys enough, making this a great place to share ideas, make new friends, and have fun at the same time and learn something as we go along. So, all right, so let's get right to it. Let's see here. I'll speed up the video. Let's take a look at what the USS Hull is. First of all, we're in the Tier 10 Ragnar. If you don't know what the Ragnar is, we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's pause the video right here. And let's take a look at what the USS Hull is. All right, for those of you who do not know, the USS Hull, which is the... whoops, wrong one. The USS Hull, Tier 10, it's supposed to be kind of like a Sherman, a Forrest Sherman kind of build. Everything looks kind of similar to that. And I did a video on what it looks like with the Sherman, and it's kind of similar. The only difference, and I'll put up a couple screenshots of what the USS Hull looks like, but basically it's the Sherman with bigger caliber guns. That's pretty much the gist of it, right? Tier 10 USS Hull, pretty much similar, like 30,000-ish HP, which you could probably build Sherman to get to those levels, I think. Maybe close to that, maybe 28,000 nowadays. Main batteries is different because the Sherman, I could really only get out to maybe 15.5. I've noticed this is about 17, so that's a pretty good range. Not bad for a gunboat DD. If you're playing like Khabarovsk or Kalaber, these are kind of the ranges you're looking at. Torpedoes, 16.5 again, a standard single launch torpedoes, kind of like the Sherman as well. I thought there was a rotating launcher because they, per the stats when they first released it in the dev blog, they showed rotating 180 turn times. I'm like, wow, there's actually a turn time, so that means they weren't fixed. Someone let me know. I'm not really sure. I'm liking this AA defense. That actually goes out to 6.9 kilometers. So that's kind of like Ragnar style, where Ragnar, you can see right here in the background, 6.9 kilometer for the AA is good because I want the guns to start. If you don't know how AA works, basically what I've heard from Reddit and YouTube, they say that the guns aren't loaded until the plane actually drives into it about 1.1 or 0.2 kilometers. Then do the guns actually start firing. So you actually kind of lose 0.2 kilometers of shooting range just based on the mechanics of the game. So stupid. Speed is probably just as... Now, here's the downside I hear. The Sherman's already slow. And the reason because it's so slow, you're going to have a better defensive countermeasure because 35 knots is pretty darn slow for a lot of people out there, and honestly, it's easy to hit ships at this speed because as soon as you turn, your speed bleeds off, so you're going really only 29. So battleships, cruisers, and everything have easy shots on you, so I think it's kind of a downside right there. So Sherman's very slow, so you got to have some kind of defensive measure for this reason, and that was typically with Sherman's smoke. So it's smoke, but maybe the range will help you out because you're so far away, it's harder to hit. I don't know. Detectability, 6.5, that's probably standard right there. So look at the guns. Here are the guns. Right here's the bread and butter right here, guys. Reload is great. 3 seconds. I think if you can build it down, you can get it maybe sub 3 seconds if you can. I'm not sure however this person built it, but 3 seconds is kind of like what my Ragnar starts off at. So I think you can build for a gun build for as slow as you can, or a best reload as you can. 203 millimeter gun. So essentially you have Des Moines cruiser caliber guns. So pretty darn powerful right there. I mean, these things pen 42 millimeters, as you can see right there. Velocity is 899, which is okay. I wish it would be a little faster. I wish it would be at the 925 Khabarov style, 950 Soviet kind of bias caliber, because these guns, if you notice in the gameplay, these shells are really, really wonky. I don't know what it is. They're hard to hit, hard to shoot, hard to aim. Maybe because it's so darn new that it's probably because the player is just learning the new mechanics of the ship. But we'll see. Look at the dispersion, 143 meters, which means that's how big the area that it's going to potentially hit in, 143 meters. I don't like that number for a destroyer. I'd like to see that down into the 105, 115 meter. The smaller the number, the smaller area that those shells are, kind of randomly hitting. And I'd like to keep that circle as small as possible. So, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, the dispersion and sigma are the two key components of the game. Firing range 17.1, armor penetration 42, fire chance 17. So the UB should be starting a lot of fires on battleships. This should be pretty hella, devastating. APs is similar, 5,200 damage. Nothing really to gonk at here. I mean, it'll pen cruisers, I hope. If you got Des Moines caliber guns, you would think this thing would citadel a lot of cruisers, right? Torpedoes, let's see here. Reload time, yeah, it doesn't say anything about the tubes. I wish it did. Has a defensive fire A, which Sherman had. It's got engine boost, which I guess is okay. I mean, it's there, 15%. I think that's a little bit better than Sherman. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think Sherman only gets that standard 8%, but this is 15, so maybe it goes a little faster. The bread and butter, this instead of smoke, essentially has a special repair team. So, I mean, the repair is better, I guess, but without smoke, man, you're getting shot out a lot because this is not like a Khabarovsk Kleber style gameplay. You're literally so slow that you're going to be absorbing a lot of damage if you fire, and you're going to see that in this video. So enough talk about that. Let's take a look at the gameplay here. And play around. So here we are, Tier 10 Ragnar. If you don't know what the Ragnar is, it essentially is the big boy of the European kind of style of destroyer. See, 900 meters per second. See how fast is? I mean, 1 meter a second. I like to see 900 and above. I mean, hull is 899. Whoop-de-doo. Why not round it up to 900? I don't know. The armor penetration is great, 30 mil, which is good. Deals with a lot of good cruisers. Firing range, 15.6. That's the maximum I could get these things at. Now, actually, I could go longer if I built for it in Module 6, but I decided to have gun reload, so I'd rather have a faster reload time. Notice the maximum shell dispersion. Look at that. See, 60 meters. Did you see what I just said there? 60 meters compared to the hull, which was 143. So his shells will be landing a little bit wider oval dispersion area. My shells are very, very accurate, kind of like Elding and Trump kind of style dispersion. Okay, so 2.8 second reload. That's what I built for. That's really a very, very powerful destroyer here. And this thing is long range HE spamming. AP is okay. You could citadel some cruisers. It's got the heal, not the superior heal, but this is good enough. I only need 2 because I've noticed in matches I've only used 2, so I don't need to build for superintendent. And it's got the engine boost, plus 30%. See, that's the kind of number I want to see. I want to see plus 30% rather than, 15 or whatever it is low. I mean, come on. If you're going to give me a boost of some kind, give me at least 30 to 50%. Come on. All right, let's see here. As a good destroyer player, what are we doing? We're going to go and support our druid here because why? I want him to stay alive because, like I said, the probability of you keeping or winning a game is keeping your other destroyers alive, and you're going to see you're going to increase your win rates just by keeping the destroyers alive. Even for you battleships and cruisers sitting in the back, you guys keep the destroyers alive, you're going to win the game more and more games. That's my basic 2 cents right there. All right, here we go. We spotted the USS Hull. Let's go ahead and open fire on him. Now look how slow he is. You see that turning right there? See, he's already cut his speed just by turning, and that is a big downside for you guys. If you guys are playing destroyers, like you turn, you're going to bleed off a lot of speed. Just like I'm a pilot in the airplane. If you turn, you pull G's, whatever, you are literally going to bleed a lot of airspeed off. That's why you got to be very careful not to stall the aircraft. You got to have to push up the power. Same goes for ships in this game. You got to, if you do turns, you're going to look at my speed. It's bleeding right there. See, I went from 35 down to 32.8, and I had to cut that speed because I need to keep the speed up. That's why engine boost is very good because you're at least getting a little bit more speed to go in those turns. All right, so I'm keeping my guns facing the USS Hull where he's at, and I'm supporting my druid. Now, the cap is not going up. What are we doing as a good destroyer player? We are there to spot and cap, okay? If you're not doing that, you're not doing your job. You notice that my team with the battleships is actually doing a great job of pushing because why? They have the confidence because a destroyer is actually pushing up. Oh, my God. You don't realize how much that gives confidence to battleship and cruiser players when they see a destroyer just literally full charging in. Not to your death, that is, but actually moving forward and spotting, screening for submarines, screening for torpedoes, and also screening for destroyers. Like, here we go. He goes, now, here's a problem mistake with the hull right there. Here, the hull, if you're going up against a Ragnar, you know that we have the 7.5 kilometer radar, which means that our detection is also 7.5. So the story is for this tactic is as soon as you get spotted, boom, pop the radar, and the radar lasts for 30 seconds. And you're going to realize that 30 seconds is a long time for a Ragnar, especially a full gun build. Well, we're getting these down, see, with Fearless Brawler active, 2.6 second reload, which is a significant amount of DPM. Okay, so how do I engage? And these are good tactics here for you guys to learn when we're engaging with destroyer gameplay one-on-one. Now, we're going head-to-head right here, so Notice that we're both angling into each other, which is a very, very negative thing to do in a destroyer, because why? You're exposing your entire hull right here. You're driving into shells. It's very easy to aim now, as opposed to kiting away, which means this is the reverse of that. It would be driving away and turning away, slim profile, much harder to hit. The other downside of driving in like this is also, just like me driving into this, the downside of doing this is we're exposed. We have to turn away. So as we turn away, the only tactic is to turn away to keep all our guns to bear. If we turn away, we're exposing our entire broadside section of our ship, making us a big, large, easy target to hit, which means the guys in the back here, I got a Gascon, Dataria, Druid, everybody's going to be firing at you guys, and you are literally going to absorb a lot of damage. I don't care if you have 29,000 HP or 27 like me and him. We are exposing ourselves to a lot of suppressive fire, and we are going to take a brute force amount of damage, and it's very, very difficult to escape unless you have an engine boost like me. I don't know how his engine boost is going to get him out of there. Usually Kleber came out the same way, turn away to run away and save as much HP as you can. Let's see if the hull can actually absorb this amount of damage and do it. Take a look at the gun turrets. They look really alien-like. Oh my gosh, look at the size of those things. And because they hold a 203mm gun, that's what it looks like. It says basically a Sherman right here and 203mm guns. All right, let's take a look at how we engage this right here. So I'm basically aiming. How I aim, if you guys don't know, the one I use is this kind of spotter design for the HUD, the heads-up display. I normally find that the numbers are very useful. I just look at the seconds and I kind of figure out, well, where is this 3 second at this range usually at? I usually am in the range of 8 to 14. These are the ranges if he's out of distance, I'll put the 14 on the thing, right on the ship and fire. If these close ranges, I usually put about an 8 right there. So this should really kind of help me aim. Look at that. So see, my first shells are hitting right at his midsection right there. So I'll just lead a little bit more right there because he's going fast. Take a look at his guns right there, firing about 3 seconds per gun, but he only has a single barrel. So and notice we're doing an even trade here. Now, I'm getting a little advantage. I'm getting help, but I'm doing a majority of the hits right here. You notice everybody else is missing, but I'm actually hitting him with the dispersion I have is pretty darn good. He is missing because I'm throttle juking with my my engine boost speed there. You can see he's missing a couple shots, which gives me an advantage. Notice that he doesn't have that ability to throttle juke a lot. And do we get this kill? And boom, there we go. Splash 1, we did 20,000 damage to him. From his 20, we did the majority of the bulk of the damage. Now, he had help. If I didn't have help, maybe I would have died there because he got me down to 54. So that was a pretty darn close trade right there. So what do you guys think? Was that a good engagement with the hull? Do you think the hull would have won that battle? Me looking at it, I think if we had gone toe-to-toe with no help, I think I would have lost that battle right there. I just happened to have a little bit more extra help. He didn't. He was by himself, so that's teamwork right there for you guys. But hey, a kill's a kill. I mean, I think that the hull is okay. I just don't think it would survive a lot of those gun engagements. From the battles I've seen going against the USS Hull, every match I've seen the hull, and they die in the first, like you just saw right there, first few minutes because maybe the player thinks that they're with the big guns overpowered or superior or whatever, but majority of the time I've noticed the hull just cannot survive these long engagements, and even though it's got range, I think the guns are so lofty, the speed, the shell trajectories aren't there. It's only single barrel that they're just not connecting. So I don't know. Maybe the playstyle needs to be... Maybe I need to drive the hull and see how the playstyle is when I play the Ragnar further in the back. I don't know. So let's speed this up and see how we play out the Ragnar. So what do we do as a good destroyer player? We're going to go back in the center there and support our destroyers. Ooh, and I just take out one shot. I one-shot that Shimakaze right there. Sorry if I sped. It wasn't much. He was just backing up. I just fired one shell at him, and he died. Good thing about big caliber guns, we can still shoot submarines. So if you show yourself on the surface, these big 152mm guns will take you out. All right, we got a Pushing Los Andes, which is the Tier 9 version of the Libertad. And I've noticed like Libertads and Los Andes are not surviving these days a lot because why? Guys like me, we're spamming from distance here and throttle juking. So it really, I mean, at first it seemed like the Libertad and Los Andes were overpowered where they can just brawl and push in. I think the Wargaming and the community have found out how to counter this thing, which is just non-stop HE spam. Because although they can absorb a lot of damage and, shoot, it just can't, they don't have enough to stop the fire chances. And they have a long damage con, long heal. It just seems like really the Los Andes and the Libertad seem to be overzealous and think that they can just push in and take on everybody, but it doesn't seem the case. I think World of Warships has found out, the player community has found out how to deal with them, which is nonstop HE spam, and you kind of just burn them to the ground. And they're just, I think they've just got too many things going on, and the player base just cannot understand how to play the Libertad anymore. Because, I mean, the HE spam is there, submarines, torpedoes, everything, and we've kind of caught on how to defend against it. All right, so let's push back in. A good destroyer player is the one that goes in and caps the spot. Ooh, here we go. Let's see if we can take on the submarine here. Hey, Ragnar is also good at. Boom, super submarine. And here we go, pop the radar, and we're going to take on the Hoffman here. Hoffman is the Elbing, 6-kilometer Elbing here, or Hydro, that is, 6-kilometer Hydro Elbing. I don't know, if people have asked me what do I think about it, I don't really think it's that powerful. I think Elbing does a better job. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the gimmick is the 6-kilometer Hydra to make Hoffman better. Elbing? I think Elbing is just better, and it's free. You don't have to spend so much money on it. And one more shot should do it. Boom. Hoffman goes down. That's how I think about the Hoffman. All right, let's take on the Marco Polo here. We are 4 kills in right now. 46,000 damage. Didn't do much, but we just finished the deal for our team. And we are just going to start. See, again, starting fires with the Ragnar is pretty stupendous right there. Notice I got the engine boost on. I'm throttle juking a lot. Once I get to a full reverse speed and I see an exclamation point go forward, I'll then go forward and throw off the shells. Look at that range right here. Roma in the distance, 14.8. Very, very difficult shot for a lot of battleships and cruisers to shoot a Ragnar or even a destroyer at these ranges. Very difficult. That's why I like the destroyer gameplay. You're using a lot, not only smoke or some kind of distance to shoot, but you're also using that just basically throttle juking back and forth at these distances. Very, very difficult to hit. As I say that, I'm probably going to get slapped by this Marco here, probably. I was trying to hide behind this island the whole time. I hope he doesn't notice me. Don't worry, we did 4 kills. We did our part. Oh, here comes the Sapshell. I did not realize. Yeah, I didn't see his gun turrets are looking at me. And is this probably going to be the death blow? Oh, yeah, Sapshells right there. Totally takes me out right there. But we did our part. 4 kills. Hopefully our team doesn't blow this. Yep, they take out the Marco Polo. And all we got left is the Roma. Hopefully we don't throw this game again. Let's take a look at how this team's going to do. Okay, Buffalo. I just want to see how this game ends. Buffalo and Roma are pushing forward. Not much they can do with their destroyer in the distance, and Tennessee's in the back. Yep, their destroyer's running away. Buffalo going against Adatara. Nope, he goes down, and Roma's trying to take him out. I think he gets this kill. Yep, one more shot, and yeah, sorry, Adatara goes down. Marco Polo, great shot there. Or Roma, sorry, Roma, good shot. Druid, one of my favorite destroyers here. He is pretty much the DD gunboat here in this game, and I think he's so powerful. I like the Druid. One of my favorite. You guys, if you are natives of the channel, you guys know that I like the Druid a lot. This thing is super freaking powerful, a very powerful destroyer to contend with, and yeah, I've done tons of videos on that. Firing against my home state of Tennessee right there, and yeah, I'm glad they brought the Tennessee in because it's a powerful ship, but. You know, I think if you don't know history, I think Tennessee was one of the ships that was pretty heavily damaged during the December 7th Pearl Harbor attack. And it's unfortunate. But, ooh, Loyang goes down to Oilen. Oilen? I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, you can't do much against a Druid right here, Oilen. I mean, this is, he's got 30,000 HP, and you got pretty much nothing. And his shells, those guns right there just melt destroyers. That's why I like the Druid a lot. It is a heavy DD Hunter gunboat. And unfortunately, let's just speed this up. I think we win based on time right here. There's nothing more they could have done based on the caps. But that's the engagement with the Ragnar and the Hull right there. Let me know your guys' thoughts of what do you think of the first impressions of the USS Hull just based on the gameplay footage that you've seen so far. What do you think? Is it a powerful ship like everybody's touting it to be? 203mm cruiser caliber guns on a dual destroyer. I don't know. Let me know what you think. This thing starts a lot of fires. 4 ships kill. We spotted, we assisted capture, we did everything we could, and yep, we did our part right there. Let's see here. Yeah, we did okay. It's not bad. A lot of potential damage right there, so we were absorbing a lot of shots fired at us, and yeah, that's the story of the Ragnar versus the USS Hull. Let me know your thoughts as always. Hope you guys are doing well. If you see me out there, say hello, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Stay safe, and until next time, we'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Build to be at the end of the video as always. Cheers.